Welcome back. I'm playing Darfall, and we're working on our Chaosborn playthrough of the survival campaign. I think this is the last mission other than the endless ones here. But I think we just need to start stockpiling resources here, because we're getting close. It's already day 8, and we need to start getting some reinforcements in case we suffer any losses when they're attacking us, and get our resources in a situation, because I'd like to get towers around all of our walls to help reinforce. Now this location to the east definitely feels like our weakest spot here, and unfortunately with our buildings being so close to the walls, I can't tower that large portion at the top, so I only have 2 there. But pretty much if you can, ooh, that's actually gonna be useful. 42 energy, that's enough for at least 2 heals almost. I got the library here too because I started to notice that I have quite a bit of parchment, and I just want to get as many skill books as possible because I think I have enough for 3 or 4 of them right now. And that'll be more skill points because I want to get my stats up as much as possible for our hero. So hopefully he'll be able to help us fight a little more efficiently. Since I'm not doing a damage mage, I'm doing more of a support mage build because I think that tends to work the best here. We finally got our stack of 20 for our army here, and we have got our guys all fully equipped. Now, I do have more knights than I typically like. I definitely don't recommend going more than 4, because while they're good at tanking, better than paladins, they have less damage output. And you can definitely feel that as you're fighting the final mobs here.
Perfect.
So hopefully we can continue to lock down this location. Once you get towers along all the walls there, they can really help you get a lot of kills and really help supply or support yourself while you're running back and forth. And then what I've recently found out has been working well is if you build some towers around the keep, at the very end you have a retreat point that you can sit there and heal under that healing aura, and then you still have those towers around you that are giving you additional support, and that can make it much easier to hold the line at the very end there, because then the undead will tend to focus fire on your buildings, and then the demons will come after you, and that can help you spread them out a little bit, because what really can be challenging at the end is when you have both the undeads attacking you and the demons are there too, because that's how you can get really overwhelmed. But as you can see, it seems to be holding much better now that we're having all these guys here.
Yes.
They're still breaking through somewhat regularly here, so maybe I gotta get thicker walls there. Yeah, see, they're almost through here too. This definitely is the weak point on my base here. And again, it's because of all these stupid obstacles that are in the way.
On the move. Yes.
Alright, well, they're pushing through here too, so I think that's just because there's so many guys here and I was fighting everywhere else. Yeah, our guys are having trouble getting into combat.
Done.
Alright, what is it? 5:20, so we're almost through the night. I think once we get the towers up, this should be a very highly defensible location. You just have to be very careful with your towers that you don't obstruct the center of the gate, because then your guys can't walk through it. And then if you don't discover that before the enemies come, you can't destroy your buildings when the enemies are nearby. And then you can make it so you have an impassable terrain, which definitely does not feel good when that happens. Alright, so let's see, we got 34 peasants, we got wood, we got stone, we've got iron, and we got silver, so we should have pretty much all of our resource situations set up for what we need.
Done.
Break all this stuff down. Alright, that'll get us up there, so now we just have to increase our health.
Yes.
If you're doing a damage mage build, then you'd probably want to
Perfect.
increase the magic damage that you're doing. I was feeling pretty good, but it looks like with these productions here, I've blown through all of our resources. So I've definitely got to focus on that. So I'm going to shut the planks off so we can build up our wood situation here. Because I'd like to build more guys here. Yeah, see, this is pretty much done there. We'll take out the Dark Ritual site as well, because that should help us not have to worry about invasions coming our way.
On the move.
Now, it would be kind of interesting on the endless runs for the Deadlands. I think it would literally come down to when you run out of food. So once you've cleared the map, you're just going to die, effectively, is what I think would happen. So I guess if you're trying to min-max it, you have to run lean with your economy. So once you get everything built up, I guess you'd kill a lot of your workers, potentially, because I think food would be your rate-limiting step here. And since we're doing pretty well on food, well, you know, I'm saying that. I was just thinking I don't need to farm this because I'm doing so well on food. But I still have several days left. And you know, I do have negative 400, and I was hoping on making more workers to help supplement our resources, so maybe I should have farmed that a little bit more. And we'll put the beds in on all of the houses here as well.
Perfect. Done.
So we can save on space.
Yes.
Alright, drop off our resources. The orc should be attacking us here shortly. Speak of the devil. Okay, here we go. Oh shit. They spawned on the other side, which means they're going to attack over here. So my guys are out of position. Leave my workers alone. Alright, let's get the planks on now that we're starting to get our wood situation fixed again. Keep building these beds here. Get more beds. Sleeping bags, whatever. Alright, I'll get you here.
On the move.
We'll run you over here to just get a little bit of wood. Because pretty much we've got one full day left. And then tomorrow the demons will be coming at night.
Done. Arcane winds guide me.
I feel like we've been pushing quite a bit, but you know, I haven't even found a single demon's portal yet. But with how the executioners are on the Chaosborn difficulty, I hope they change that eventually, but it seems like with how powerful they are right now, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for you to push. I mean, yeah, you can get yourself some equipment, which can be quite good, but because the equipment is still balanced on the original game settings, that it's like, alright, if you lose 4 or 5 soldiers here, is that really worth taking out the demon portals here? Because I feel like you're going to be losing more points for the unit losses, and then you have to spend those resources getting it up and running again. It's like, just focus on killing other guys and killing other structures around the map to help buff your score that way.
Fine.
Because I don't think you get the objective points unless you actually destroy all the portals.
On the move.
And I just think the challenge for that outweighs the benefit. Because you can find the elite mobs around the map, like that undead camp to the northeast of where we're getting our silver, and we were killing those guys and getting the perk points and some of those other better equipment. Now, I think you only get the legendaries when you kill the demons. And let's just set some minimums here for stone and wood. That way we don't get ourselves into that situation. But I've just definitely been pretty sloppy with getting those up and going here. Alright, let's get that going, and we'll equip these, and that should be good. Oh! I clicked it, so I thought it would deactivate my breakdown. Shit. Alright, well, I guess I don't get those boots. There's no undo button. Yeah, usually if you side-click, it'll cancel your breakdown ability, so I thought that had happened. I didn't realize I still had the breakdown indicator on there. Yeah, see, here's another one of those more elite tier locations here, so it's like you can get a bunch of perk books and stuff out of it. But it also is kind of onerous too, because you're just sitting here watching these slap fights because everything has so much HP. It's just like kind of an annoying situation. So I get what they did. I mean, this honestly, if they didn't create this Chaosborn difficulty, I don't think I would have bought this game, because it was looked too basic and too simple without them making these changes. But then, like most games, it's like, oh, you want a challenge, we'll just turn everything into a meat shield. So it's like I wish there was a little more dynamic stuff here as well, or some different creeps that maybe did something, because it kind of feels like it gets to be a little bit redundant. Now, it is kind of cool that some of the maps do have the unique enemies, but it's like you actually, I think you need more variability in that than what they do here. I also think you should get some sort of objective at least every day for a side mission, so that way you're always being pushed and feeling kind of overwhelmed, like, what do I need to do today? What is the best objective? And just kind of adding some artificial stress, but it's not stress for the sake of stress. It's like you can get some rewards. So I think that would be better as well. And honestly, I wouldn't be terribly upset if they just removed those impassable terrain from the maps completely. I mean, you got to keep the cliffs and, you know, that kind of stuff, but these little, like, rocks on the ground blocking spots, or, you know, having shoreline that you can't build a wall around, it's just, that gets to be very frustrating, so I would just get rid of those things as well. And I kind of have mixed feelings about the attack waves at night, because it's like every no matter what game you play, it's always the same units coming after you, it looks like. So it's like, you know, day 2 the archer shows up, day 4 the necromancer shows up, you know, you got the big guys coming up, and then you get these battle axe guys coming. So I just wish there was a little more dynamic stuff there, because by the end I think this does feel like it's kind of redundant. Because it seems like the start of them, I find that this game, and let me know if you guys feel differently, but as I'm working through this, I feel like the early to mid game seems like it's the strongest point, because you're building up the force, you're having to manage your economy, you know, you're trying to run around the map to find different outpost locations depending on what you need for your resources. And you don't have a strong enough army yet, so you gotta, you know, be strategic with what areas you're trying to push. But by late game, because you're maxed out at 20 soldiers, it just feels like, okay, I'll stockpile a little bit in case I suffer a couple troop losses at the end. But for the most part, I feel like towards the end, other than just stockpiling some resources to build towers, I feel like this starts to fall off at the ends. Now again, if the demon portal pushes were more viable, then I think that would add some dynamic play into this, where you'd really want to be pushing that further to try to get the better equipment and things. But with those, again, those executioners being so strong, my takeaway is I just don't find the reward is worth the squeeze here. And if you have a really bad engagement, that can leave you so weak for the undead night assault that you then can't survive. So it's like, with there being no hard saves here, everything is a quick save situation that happens automatically, or if you manually do the quick save but then that file gets overrun, it's like, why chance, you know, a 3-hour game to try to get a reward that may not even be the right equipment for your character, let's say, you know, I suffer a bunch of losses and then I get a sword, I can't even use it, so I just got to break down that equipment anyways. It just doesn't seem like it's in a good situation here, but I think that would definitely be much better and would lead to less fatigue, because, you know, I was looking at some other people's reviews on Steam for this game, and that definitely seems to be kind of people's main gripe, is that this starts to get redundant towards the end here. And I do somewhat feel that as well. But I think if you just made some minor holy shit, this is going to be a problem. I don't think I've had these guys spawn in at that same location before. There's like 15 of these big fuckers here. Okay. Shit. This is actually worse than the demons summoning in on me. Here, I'm talking all this shit, and now I'm getting in trouble. Shit, and of course they're attacking me from the south, so I don't really have enough towers here. And they're pushing in, so I'm gonna have to run back. So I'm gonna have to keep spamming this AoE stun. But yeah, here's a perfect example, right? I mean, if these guys were spread out more, then this would be a non-issue, but because they all spawned in randomly at this one location, you know, if I didn't have something that had really good AoE stuns here, I probably would have lost my army and maybe even potentially lost the campaign here. So, you know, certain heroes would definitely be better than others. Like, I think this would be an absolute nightmare if I had the Dwarf, because he doesn't have any AoE stuns, right? Whereas, you know, the Beastmaster, I guess, would have been able to summon in a bunch of spiders, but then having those many fatties with the AoE attack, he would just keep killing those spiders like nobody's business here. And the Slayer has that axe throw ability, which we saw, so that would work out very well. And I think the Paladin, you know, I guess he would probably be okay. While he doesn't have an AoE stun, he does have that healing aura, so at least we'd be getting some minor heals going as well. But yeah, that could have been disastrous if we didn't have that AoE CC crowd control situation. Alright. Well, I guess that'll give us a good taste for what tonight's gonna be. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is, unless they release a big patch on this game, I'll hold off on doing the endless runs, because I suspect they're probably going to eventually release some DLC for this game and maybe some more balance. And then maybe that'll inspire me to go back and try, because there should be one of those endless runs per hero here. And then we can see what that's all about. And if not, and there's a lull in the games I want to play, then maybe I'll come back to it and do the endless runs at that point in time.
Arcane winds guide.
I mean, the completionist part of me does not like the thought of not doing those maps. But I do feel a little bit of fatigue on this game, so I don't want to get burned out. And I've also been a little surprised that it seems like you guys don't seem to really like the game very much. So maybe it's time to just move on to a different game, and like I said, maybe come back to this if they make some changes. And then if there's people that have interest in this, then, and they're kind of still debating about whether they want to get the game or not, if they do have any major changes, then I can show those off with those endless runs. And like I said, if I get caught up on the other games, then that I can move on to that too. But I've been working on that, redoing some of those Gladius videos, because I've been seeing a lot of people have been watching those old Gladius videos and wanting that quality to be a little bit better, because I think a lot of people ended up buying a lot of that Gladius from the Skulls of the Skull Thrones sale. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that would have all of a sudden created so much interest in there, unless there's like some YouTuber or something that's playing it that's introducing Gladius to a lot of people. But I was kind of surprised at how many people were watching those old videos here. And you know, I'm kind of enjoying making some guide videos too, and so that's kind of inspiring me to go back there and do it, just to kind of try something else there. Because I do like to beat these games on the hardest difficulties, and sometimes people can be very frustrated with that if they don't kind of understand the mechanics. And maybe I'll make some guides for Darfall too,
Fine.
because there is a bit of a learning curve on this game, but we'll see. I'm not sure kind of what I want to do here. I'm just kind of thinking as we're going through this last match here. Alright, we got another dark pylon here. And then at day 10, there's going to be 2 orc ambushes that come after us.
On the move.
So that's the first.
Arcane
So
winds
maybe
guide
what we'll do is we'll just push around here. That way we're still kind of close to our base if another orc ambush shows up here. Since it definitely seems like they want to be attacking us from the northwest location there.
Your order. On the move. Perfect. Fine.
Alright, let's load that up. And one more point and we can get that health. Alright, we got that. That's more. That takes care of that, I guess. And I guess we're going to just put stuff into the spell damage, even though we're not really using attack spells, because I don't think it really makes sense to put the points into the resource bonuses, because we're not really going to be using you to gather resources.
With wisdom, I move.
Alright, I got that. Let's see, what is it, 1 o'clock?
Fine. Yes. With wisdom, I move.
Alright, there's another perk book. Yeah, we have just been getting so many of those.
Arcane winds guide me.
Alright, we body blocked those guys. Now, I don't think when you take out these orc camps that it resets the spawn points for the raids.
Attacking.
I guess it doesn't really matter because we're probably not gonna be able to fully kill everybody by the time the next raid comes out, I would think. Alright, he's down. That's the 3rd or 4th time I found that helmet on this frickin' match.
Fine.
See, that's what drives me nuts about this item spawning. Alright, here they come. Yep, here come the orcs, and of course I'm out of position. We don't need those bones. Alright, let's get the perk book. Ah, shit, I'm gonna lose that outpost. I'm out of position. Let's try to run those guys away. The nice thing is the orc raiders, once they raid that outpost, will just stay at that location and not keep running around the map looking for battles.
Done.
But yeah, I think that's my other biggest gripe on this game is their redundant items showing up. I mean, you need to have the same... Ah, damn it. I'm going to lose a bunch of workers here. Yep, there's 3. Yeah, they just aggroed on to those workers. And they brought them back to my other outpost. So that's like the worst, the worst of both worlds. Ah, I forgot to tell them to make iron. Well, let's make the iron tool parts and then we can get a workshop maybe. I might as well just break those down because they're useless now. I'm not going to spend the resources to make another outpost there.
Yes.
We've got 6 minutes, well, 6 minutes and 40 seconds for the next orc ambush, not orc ambush, the demon summoning to attack us. Alright, I'll drop that off.
Arcane winds guide me.
So maybe we'll just spend this last day here to reinforce a little bit. We don't have a ton of stone, actually, which surprises me. Let's just build some towers anywhere we can.
Fine.
Alright. So this should be good. With all of our attack speed buffs, our mage is actually attacking pretty quick. Alright, I don't know why that one worker is bugging out. That does happen occasionally. think we should just go for 4 layers here. That should be enough to keep us safe. Now, there is ways to min-max your walls. Like, if you create little choke points in it, the AI gets kind of confused on it. I don't like to do that, because I feel like that's just cheesing the AI, because it's pretty stupid in some ways. But if you're really struggling, you can make some zigzag walls with little gathering points to confuse them, and that can sometimes really help you survive these later pushes as well. That might be more essential to do in, like, the endless run, depending on how crazy those night ambushes or night attacks become on the later difficulties. I assume that as the nights get longer, they just keep adding more and more units to attack you. But I guess because I haven't done one, I don't know the truth to that. But given that, you know, after day 10 you start getting double orc ambushes and things like that, I have to believe that some of those other mechanics are gonna get stronger too. I just don't know where I want to build another outpost, but I feel like I need more stone. That's ore. That's silver. I could have swore... Yeah, this is stone over here. I'm pretty sure I found more stone outcroppings. Well, we got 4 minutes, so I would really like to try to get as many stone bricks as we can to be able to make some more towers if possible.
Your order?
Try to break down some more structures, just boost our score as much as possible, since we have lost a shit ton of workers on this match. The other thing that can kind of suck is you don't know where the demon portals are, so you don't know which one is going to be used to spawning guys, so you just always hope, like, please Jesus, do not let them spawn in a path to attack an outpost here, because they could just kill everybody that's there. Alright, so we almost have towers everywhere. I would have liked to get them around the keep here yet.
With wisdom I move.
Oop. Oh, I gotta drop your items off. There you go. Yeah, we've been finding just incredible amounts of perk books and things here. Alright, there's another purple helm. Because these little star guys here are considered elites. Other than like those level 10s, which also are considered elite, so they give you better items when you get kills.
Yes.
That would be a nice melee build.
Done.
I mean, I could boost their attack speed further, since we do have kind of a melee attacker. Well, he's not really melee, but auto attack here. But I'm pretty happy with what we got going on, so I think we'll just kind of stay the course. Alright, I got warhammers, I've got silver armors, I got guns, I've got leather armor. So let's just do this to try to get more stone, so hopefully I can build... Oh, I never built a workshop. Alright, let's destroy the library, and then that workshop should be the same size. Yep, there we go. That's what we'll do. Because we're out of parchment anyways, so there's no reason to keep that library up. Alright, we got 2 minutes left. That could be enough time yet to build some more towers. Let's try to get mining picks here to increase the efficiency of our workers. We'll get some more of those wooden handles, that way we can build more picks if needed. Alright, try to reinforce the walls.
Your order?
Alright, these guys are still attacking us. We're going to attack to the south, so we got to run down there for sure. Alright, they're making some headway over here, unfortunately. Yep, here's considered 4 elites or 5 elites, whatever it is.
Yes.
Now, while you hit spacebar to pause the game, you just got to make sure you don't use multiple spells, because you can actually bug it out where you pay the energy for your spells, but then only one of them goes off, and then you'll activate the cooldown. So you just got to be very, very cautious with that. So you would usually, if you're going to cast multiple spells, you'll pause it, cast that spell, unpause it, wait for the effect to go off, and then pause it again to do another spell. Because I've messed myself up on that several times here. Alright, so we're gonna totally fall apart here on the south. Yeah, they're almost through. Oh, and of course the demons are coming from the south too, so we just need to run over there. Alright, get out of there. Shit, they're through. And there's a bunch of these big fatties here. Alright, this could be bad. Of course, I don't have my towers up yet. And we're all caught up in the buildings. Now, those towers are definitely helping us because they're all blocked up. Alright, demons are here. So let's let them get kind of close and then hopefully just keep freezing them, and then we can pick off the weaker demons. And then what happens is the demons tend to get all blocked up, so then we can use our freeze again. Alright. I think we probably just need to pull back. Haven't lost anybody yet, but we're getting pretty close, so let's come back to the healing aura. Freeze there. The blazing overlords attacking our towers, which is good, because the rest of the demons are aggroed onto our troops. Alright, we did lose one of our warriors, unfortunately.
Well,
So start making more. There's 5 demons left. There's a bunch of freaking undead, though. Alright, we're down to 4. Freaking necromancers keep making more guys over here. But they are getting kind of put into the same location, which means I can keep using my freeze. And then we're hiding under the keep, which means we're going to get some faster mana regeneration, so we can keep spamming our stuns and our heals. Hopefully keep our guys alive, because now we've reached a point where we can out-heal his damage. And we just have the Overlord left, so we should be able to win this. Alright, I think that's going to be victory here in just a second. I just got to kill this demon. Yep, we're just about there. Beautiful. Oh, and of course then we got a legendary staff that I can't pick up.
we've won. The portals are sealed.
Alright, and with that, we've now completed all the survival maps other than the endless ones here. So hopefully this gives you an idea of whether this is a game that you'll be interested in purchasing or not. Like I said, I was a little bit negative towards this game at the very end. I'm not trying to complain. I actually enjoyed my time and definitely felt like I got my money's worth out of it. But I do think if they made some minor tweaks, they'd make this a much, much better game. I do suspect that the graphics are going to kind of turn some people off, because it does look like a game from, 15 years ago, not even longer. The similarities between it and Warcraft 3, I think, was definitely a huge inspiration. Now, that hit some nostalgia points for me, but for people that may not have that Warcraft 3 experience when they were younger, that may be, like I said, a big turnoff. But having the different heroes definitely feels good. It adds to some more variable play. The game mechanic and cycle is actually pretty decent, but it tends to fall off the longer the game goes by, because there's only so much you can do. And since you can only get 20 warriors and 50 workers, towards the end you're like, okay, I've kind of done everything. So other than making thicker walls and more towers, there's not a lot for you to do with your resources. Now, I guess as the game goes on, you start getting more attacks. You'll probably build some towers and defenses around your outposts, but for the most part on these 8-10 day holds, whatever, or 7 to 10, you don't necessarily have to do that once you, because it seems like the raids are always coming at the same area. You kind of, once you know where that they're going to be coming, you can just plop your army down there and be ready for them. But definitely I really like the mage. I like the support mage. I used them on the main campaign and then just for this Deadlands run here. I do like that they added the variability with the different biomes. I think that's pretty cool and leads to some variable play as well. But overall, it felt good, and then really kind of learning the Deadlands at the very end, where you really have to push to get the food. That was an interesting mechanic. I was not expecting that for the end, so I was glad that that kind of added a little bit of variability, because I wasn't sure what the situation was going to be on these Deadlands here. So seeing that they actually changed the biome there to create a little bit of a learning curve at this very end was kind of a good experience here. But overall, I think this should give you a pretty good idea on how to beat the survival campaign in the campaign on the Chaosborn difficulty. I hope they create some pretty major updates here, and maybe I'll return and do those endless runs. If not, then if I get caught up on the other games, maybe I'll return, but I suspect that's going to be quite some time. I think I am going to make some guides on this game, because I've just found that some people have been asking a lot of questions on the basic mechanics, so maybe I can give them some tips now that I've gone through the survival and chaos campaign with the Chaosborn difficulty. So with that, I'm going to sign off for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.